Hello everyone, I'm Garry Landreth'in, and I'd like to take a few minutes to share with you some thoughts, ideas I've had over the last several days about how to meet the needs of children during this pandemic time. And one of my first conclusions, as I've been thinking, has been that this crisis does not change the importance of the relationship in play therapy. That remains the same. And more than ever, children need a safe relationship with someone who cares deeply for them, someone who believes they are capable, someone who wants to be with them, someone who listens with their heart, someone who is able to communicate important messages like, I'm here, I hear you, I understand, and I really do care for you. Someone who will live out the moment with them as the child determines what to do in that moment. One of my adult clients described in a note the impact of this kind of being with. She wrote, "A place to be me, all of me, any me, and somebody to be all of me with. What a treasure, a miracle." I think children experience the same kinds of reactions in play therapy. They just can't put those kinds of words to their reactions. Over the last week, I've been thinking about how we could best meet the needs of children, and I keep coming back to if it's at all possible, a therapeutic relationship with a child should be maintained. And then the question is, how do we maintain that therapeutic relationship? And maybe it's not a question of maintaining our therapeutic relationship with the child as the play therapist, but is there someone else? And what I'd like to recommend to you is that yes, there is someone else. We should consider training parents in child-parent relationship therapy, or CPRT, which is a filial therapy evidence-based model. And we could use this approach to training parents to become the therapeutic agent in the child's life, not taking our place, but building their own relationship as the play therapist changes his or her role from being the child's play therapist to becoming a teacher, trainer, supervisor for the parent, or parents perhaps training both parents to have special 30-minute playtimes using carefully selected toys, of just a limited number of toys, maybe 15 or 20 small toys that the parent can accumulate from the child's possessions, or maybe these are some toys on the list will not be being played with by the child anymore, but if they bring them out, the child will be interested in them. But we have found in CPRT research that parents learn quickly the basic play therapy skills that we train in an introduction to play therapy course, or like Play Therapy 101, we teach those same basic skills to the parents, and they utilize them in developing a special playtime relationship for 30 minutes once a week. And the play therapist does this training over the phone or utilizing something like the telehealth system, but a system like that perhaps, to train the parent. That could be a very effective way to equip the parent to become the therapeutic agent in their child's life. And the play therapist shifts his or her role to become the teacher supervisor in the parent's life. Mindy, my daughter-in-law, has for the last couple of months been training a group of parents in CPRT training, and she was telling me about the first experience in this transition that she has made just last week from meeting with them face to face to now meeting with the parents individually or two parents in the home setting, and training them via this telehealth system. And her first session was just last week, and I talked with her after the session, and she was so excited about the effectiveness of this tool for continuing the training. She gave the parents, had given the parents already a special list of toys that they had accumulated, and she used this system to watch their play sessions at home, and then later to talk with them after the session about their session. But a unique thing that really excited her was she gave the parents a wireless headphone set, and they could hear her and she could hear them. And during their special playtime, if they became stuck or seemed to be searching for an adequate response, she was able to feed them or suggest a response of how to reflect or how to track the child's play or how to reflect a feeling. And the parents quickly picked up on that and immediately began to shift from their questioning mode or whatever they had been doing into this more reflective mode. And Mindy was really excited about this teachable moment situation for the parent, just offering them a suggested response, and also giving them encouragement in the process. So you might want to consider that process in your efforts. If you're the play therapist, then you consult with the parents on the phone, get their permission to train them at home in this CPRT model, and you become no longer their child's therapist, but you train the parent to become the therapeutic agent. In this way, we continue the focus on a therapeutic relationship. It's just that we've changed the therapist to a teacher, trainer, supervisor model. I have found if a child feels safe in the relationship the child will naturally experience this relationship in a different kind of way that releases them to meet their needs. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if we can help the child to feel safe, the child will take us to where they need to be, not where we think they need to be. And a good example of this leading of the play session was played out by an 8-year-old girl in a filial therapy group that I was training. And in this particular session, the 8-year-old, in the middle of the session, just stopped her play, picked up the roll of Scotch tape, went over to the door to the bedroom, opened it, stepped out into the hallway, turned, and then used the Scotch tape to create a solid web of tape across the door. And when she had finished, she said to the mom, "Come to me." And the mom said in the supervision session, I knew exactly what she was saying to me, that I had created an emotional wall between us. And I got up, broke through the tape, hugged her, and we both cried. A very dynamic, dramatic breakthrough for both of them. I think the play therapist must be very cautious about using pre-designed activities or techniques, because the therapist cannot possibly know where the child may need to take this relationship or the play. In closing, I would like to share with you a brief paragraph from Axeline's book, Dibs. This is one of my prized possessions. In the epilogue, Axeline wrote, Dibs had had his dark moments and had lived for a while in the shadows of life, but he had had the opportunity to move out of those dark moments and discover for himself that he could cope with the shadows and sunshine in his life. Perhaps there is more understanding and beauty in life when the glaring sunlight is softened by the patterns of shadows. Perhaps there is more depth in a relationship that has weathered some storms. And that has great meaning for me, for you, in your efforts to help the child. You're helping the child to weather the storm. Thank you for doing that for children.